Welcome everyone to Yin Yoga. My name is Tammy and I'll be guiding you through the next hour. Our theme for our class is Yin Yoga for a rainy day. We've had a lot of rain lately and it has definitely caused some havoc. So thinking about others as we move through our class, letting your mind be settled, helping so that others will have that peace and support around them too. Beginning our class, lying on the side of your body. So coming over to the side of the body and letting yourself just take a moment here. Our head is at the front of our mat. Let your breath settle. Let your body start to find that ease. Our first pose will be broken wing. Rolling over to your tummy. Letting the right cheek rest on the ground here. The head is just going to be turned away towards the other side. And roll over now to the right side of the body. Coming into broken wing, take your right arm towards the right side, letting the shoulder rest on the ground. If this is not comfortable for you, please just roll over to fetal. Instead of having the arm coming out to the side, you can have the arm tucked in. Turning your head the opposite way. Finding stillness. Letting your breath guide you to help find that stillness. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Letting the exhale breath be longer now. Coming out of broken wing nice and slow, we're pushing up the center. And just like we began at the beginning, over to our left side. We roll over to our left side, making your way down. Take your left arm out to shoulder height and head rest on the ground. Let the left cheek rest on the ground. And if this does not work for your shoulder, you can roll over to the side of the body. In fetal, let yourself take a moment here. Use your breath to help let the body start to let go.
This is a really nice pose to check in with your heart rate. Seeing how fast your heart is beating, you can feel it on the surface below you. Using your breath to help slow down your heart rate. Slowly making your way up, and then make your way up here. And then into cattail. You do not have to use a prop if you don't want to. I'm going to use my bolster, but without a bolster, cattail, your right leg will come underneath of the left leg, like this. Take your right arm, hold on to the right ankle, and you can open up through the body like that. Actually, let's do it without our prop, and then just getting yourself into cattail. But I will use a cushion underneath my right knee, or sorry, left knee. Oops, it is my right knee. I told you the wrong thing. Okay, left leg goes underneath, right leg is on top. And then holding on to the left ankle with your right hand. Were you wondering? Okay, use your breath again to let yourself settle and find that stillness. Thirty more seconds. Slowly making your way out of cattail for the last 15 seconds. We come into the other side. So lying on the back, your knees may come up towards the chest here first, and then take your knees in towards the chest to cradle. And then taking your legs down to the ground. Okay, into the other side, I'm going to have my cushion just ready to go. This time roll over to the right side. Take your right leg underneath, left leg on top. Then the left hand is going to hold on to the right ankle. Come to the side of the body. You can also, if that is too much of an opening through the shoulder, you can take your
your body just rested over to the side. So take your arm into the front of the body. So the right leg coming back, left knee being supported. Letting yourself sink a little bit deeper into cat-tail. Letting the body release. Finding that softness, that care for yourself. Gently coming out of cat-tail. Releasing nice and slow. Rolling over to your back. Taking the knees in towards the chest to cradle. Give yourself a hug. So I take the right foot down, left foot down, roll over to the side of the body to fetal. Right arm can come overhead and then make your way up to Malasana. So this is squat. So I'm going to remove my prop here. Coming to the front of your mat or just into the center. Bring your right foot and left foot out to the sides. So turning your toes out, tailbone being drawn down. Hands may come to the heart first, and then take your hands down to the ground. Let the head hang down towards the ground. You may also sit on a prop. So it would be a block that you're sitting on. And the higher the blocks are, the more support that you will have. Taking the pressure off the knees. If you're feeling this pose into the knees, you can sit on something. Use your breath to help you guide you a little bit deeper into squat, to help you to let go, further sinking, a further opening. 30 more seconds in squat.
Slowly make your way out for the last 15 seconds. And coming forward, so standing, coming up, and then turn your toes, so on the balls of your feet, not on the balls of your feet, on your heels, turn your toes to face the front. Let yourself dangle. Hold onto the elbows, so onto either side, and let the head dangle. You can do a sway side to side here first, and then let yourself dangle. Support for this pose could be sitting on a chair and folding forward, and letting yourself dangle that way. Thirty more seconds. Now, last 15 seconds, making your way out of dangle, coming to all fours. You may sit back into the heels, then back to all fours. Step forward with the right hand, left hand into downward facing dog. Alternate evens. And then hold here. Three-legged dog, take the right leg straight up to the sky. Dragon is our next pose. So stepping forward onto the outside of the right wrist. So onto the outside, right wrist. Left knee may come down to the floor or it could be lifted. And you're holding dragon this way. So finding which is the pose that's the form of the pose that's going to work for you. You can double up the mat. You can use a knee block too. If you would like to come down a little bit lower to the ground, come down onto your forearms. Here we let our head hang. Opening up onto the right side of our hip. Come back to your breath. Notice any areas of tightness in the body and encourage lengthening, release, with the exhale breath. So breathing into all those tight areas. And then encourage release with your exhale breath. Let the head hang. And coming back to our theme, yin yoga for rainy days, letting yourself just be, letting yourself hang. Thirty more seconds. Slowly make your way out of dragon. Take your hands back to your mat. Step the right foot back into downward facing dog. You may do the alternate knees and then find stillness. Three-legged dog. This time we lift the left leg up towards the sky and then take the left foot onto the outside of the left wrist. You may come down to the knee or leg is straight and you hold. You may come down to the forearms. Finding what is accessible for you. Finding that support for your body to help you to let go. Remember, it could be the doubling of your mat, the knee block. Here, a nice big opening into the outside of the left hip. Use your breath again. Inhale breath, breathing into those tight areas. Exhale breath, letting go. Feel yourself sinking a little bit deeper into the pose. 30 more seconds. Slowly make your way out of dragon for the last 15 seconds. Stepping the left foot back into downward facing dog, and then come to all fours. Uncurl the toes. Sit back into child's pose. So come back towards the heels. Let the forehead rest towards the ground. Thirty more seconds. Slowly make your way out of child's pose back to all fours. Toes down to the ground, step forward with the right hand, left hand into downward facing dog. And then come back to all fours. Here I'd like you to get your props ready. So if you don't have your prop handy, taking your cushion or a block, just one, onto the side, the right side here. So again, back to all fours and then step forward with the right hand, left hand, and take your hips up towards the sky. Sleeping swan is the next pose. Back to three-legged dog. Lift your right leg up towards the sky and then bend through the knee and turn the right knee out to the right wrist. Take your cushion, place it underneath of your right hip. I'm just going to remove any of my props that I have here in front. Sleeping swan, hips are square, so I'm going to have my left toes down towards the ground at first here to make sure my hips are square. Make your way down. You could use a block if you want to have your head resting. You can stack like this. You can have your elbows down and let the forehead rest, or make your way all the way down towards the ground, let the forehead rest. If you find, yes, my hips are square, you can uncurl the toes and let your body sink a little bit deeper, or support, so the toes are still down to the ground. If this does not work for your knee, then I'll show you another way to do it. Or if it does work for your knee, finding that stillness now. Figure four would be the pose that you could do also. So crossing your right ankle over the left knee, wrap your hands around the left leg, and then hold. Taking the left foot off the ground. So finding the pose that works for you. If Sleeping Swan does not. Nice big opening into our right side of our hip again. Come back to your breath. Thirty more seconds in Sleeping Swan. Slowly coming out of Sleeping Swan. Figure four. Making your way back to downward facing dog. And then to all fours. Take your pillow, whatever prop that you're using, onto the other side of your mat. Okay, back to all fours. If you need to step forward again with the right hand, left hand, make your way into downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, left leg lifts up towards the sky, and then bend through the knee and turn your knee out to the left wrist. Take that leg forward. Toes, right toes down towards the ground to help square the hips. So there's not one hip. Turning over to the side. Take your pillow underneath the left hip. Find that support. And then make your way down. Or you're on your back in figure four. Be on the side of the body. You could be sitting in a chair too, with your ankle crossing over the knee. That's always a really nice one to do. You can do that at work too. Crossing your ankle over the knee when you're sitting in the chair. Let the forehead rest if you are in Sleeping Swan. You may uncurl the toes too if you need. Nice big opening into the left side of the hip. Come back to your breath again. Hear your breath. Soft exhale breath longer than the inhale breath, you can count it out. Inhaling for 4 seconds, exhaling for 6 seconds. Thirty more seconds. Slowly make your way out of sleeping swan, back to all fours or downward facing dog and then all fours. Take your palm to the side here. Come into Sphinx, lying on your belly. Take your elbows underneath of the shoulders. Uncurl the toes. Pull the navel in towards the spine, pubic bone down, contracting through your quadriceps. Quadriceps lift up. Taking the ears away from the shoulders, so draw down through the shoulders. Keep pulling the navel in, pubic bone down, contracting through your quadriceps. Take the head down towards the chest. Let the head hang. Keep pushing out of the ground through your elbows, through your forearms. Keep lifting away from the ground, but letting yourself release. Keep thinking of lengthening your spine. Let go of the head a little bit more. Let your head dangle. Slowly make your way out of Sphinx back to child's pose. Coming back, you come to all fours and then uncurl the toes and sit back into the heels and back into child's pose, a counter pose, just for 15 seconds. So letting yourself release down to the ground. Slowly come out and into Reclined Hero. Okay, I will use my prop here, my bolster, for Reclined Hero. And I'm going to turn it so it's going to be parallel with the back edge of my mat. Sitting on your heels first. You do not have to do the recline. So in yin, this is called saddle. You can sit on blocks to take pressure off the knees. And the higher that you have your blocks, the easier it is for your knees that you're taking pressure off. And you can be in saddle here. Okay. Or you can remove your blocks and recline on the ground. So I'll show you what that's going to look like, and then you can join me. Taking your heels out to the sides of your body. Take your hands up, take your hips up towards the sky, and then slowly lower. I'm going to have my bolster under the small of my back, and then I lie back. Now, if it's not your bolster or your pillow, your prop, it's not under the small of your back, come right back up. And then make your way down towards the ground. Take your hands overhead. You can hold onto the elbows. So finding what is going to work for you. Nice big opening into the front of the body. If you are reclining, support under the lower back. Thirty more seconds in saddle. Slowly coming out of saddle. And roll over to the side of the body. And we make our way to Dragonfly. So I'll use my bolster again. You don't have to use a bolster or a pillow. Open up your legs into a V. I'm going to take my bolster nice and close to the body to my inner thighs. I'm sitting up tall and then fold forward for dragonfly. Let your left cheek or right cheek rest onto your prop. Here you may hear your heartbeat again. Notice if your heart rate has slowed down. Use your breath to help it to slow down. Focus on the counting of your breath. 4 counts inhaling, 6 counts exhaling. Fifteen more seconds. Let's hold dragonfly, and then 15 seconds to make our way out. Letting yourself still. Encourage breath, stillness. Slowly coming out of dragonfly, turning your head back to center, making your way up. Okay. Taking any of your thoughts to the side. And then roll over to the side of the body and lying on the side of your body, just like we did at the beginning of our class. rolling over now to your back to stirrup, full stirrup. It's happy baby. So lying on your back, take your knees in towards the chest. Turn your knees out to the shoulders. You may hold underneath your knee pits here and then let the legs flop down to the sides. You may hold on to the ankles, or you may hold on to the outside of the feet. And one more thing, you can use your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. So finding what is going to be nice for you, and let yourself hold happy baby. Feel the nice big opening into the pelvis, into the hip flexors. Close your eyes and let yourself just be. Thirty more seconds and stir up. Slowly coming out. So taking your knees in towards the chest and into cradle, hold, give yourself a squeeze. And Shavasana, our last pose. Shavasana may be on your back with your knees bent, be with your legs straight, your right foot to the right corner of your mat, left foot to the left corner of your mat. You may turn the palms up towards the sky. If your knees are bent, that does take pressure off of the lower back. So finding what's going to be good for you. You can have legs up the wall. You can have them in the air, or they can actually be resting against a wall. You can be lying on the side of the body. You can make an incline with your bolster and then some blocks and lie on that. Making sure we're nice and warm. So if you have a blanket, bring that blanket on your body, whatever other clothing maybe that you might want to use to cover your body. You may come into easy pose and find meditation that way.
letting your eye sockets be heavy. Letting your facial muscles relax. Your shoulders release and feeling that tension melt away. You may squeeze your glutes and then let them release. Feel your body soften. I will call you back when it is time. Slowly coming back, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Noticing the surface you're lying on. Noticing your breath. Noticing the calmness that you feel from within. Letting that calmness spread, letting that peace spread all around you. If you're lying down on the ground, please make your way up to a comfortable seated position. It could be an easy pose. You can be sitting on a prop. With your hips higher than the knees, to take pressure off the knees for support. And then placing your hands to your heart center in prayer. Thinking of others, saying a prayer for those who have been displaced from their homes due to unforeseen circumstances. Thank you, everyone, for joining me and sharing your practice with me. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.